What an interesting week of FPL. We have a lot of injury doubts heading into game week 29. Let's discuss. But before we get started, you guys should know the drill by now. Make sure you guys leave a like on this video. That would be greatly appreciated. And guys, finally got a decent sized green arrow. Honestly, I'm so happy. 184k green arrow. Like I said, this season's been very difficult for me. I feel like every single time I get small green arrows, but the red arrow that I always get is always massive. So the fact that I finally got a big size green arrow, which, listen, I honestly can't even remember when the last time was this season. It feels so nice. And I just want to say, Yuri and Timber, you have finally done it. You have finally done it. I kept saying all season, the underlying numbers with Timber are there. Like, there's going to be a game that surely he gets that goal or gets an assist. And listen, he finally got it against Chelsea. And I'll be honest, as soon as I saw Timber scored, I was like, oh, surely this is going to get ruled out. No, in my luck, innit? But the fact Timber scored, honestly, buzzing. Gabriel also got an assist. Arsenal was such a threat from corners. And I said it earlier on in this week when we were talking about, obviously, the lead up to game week 28. Chelsea cannot defend set pieces. And we saw it again today. Arsenal absolutely bullied them on set pieces. To be honest, to Chelsea also scored a set piece. So, listen, credit to them. But defensively, Chelsea were not good from defending set pieces. We said it all season. I told you guys the data. And again, it happened. So that was obviously very nice from the double Arsenal defense. Even though they didn't keep a clean sheet, an 8 point, a 9 point. And finally, Timber's got something over a David Raya, for example. It feels very nice. A Verbruggen 3-pointer. He got save points. To be honest, like I said, Nottingham Forest were going to be in a relegation battle. It's going to be very difficult getting, let's say, victories against these sort of sides, clean sheets against these sort of sides. And to be honest, I was always going to start Verbruggen over the Bravcar. And Munoz, who I actually ended up not starting. I started Joachim Andersen, but obviously Joachim Andersen is ill for this week, and that's why Munoz came on. Munoz 1-pointer. To be honest, I don't think he done much offensively in this game against Manchester United. I think there was one chance, I can't remember who it was, from Crystal Palace, where in the second half, if they had played Munoz in a bit better, or if the pass was a bit better, Munoz could have had a decent, let's say, run-in at the Manchester United backline. That weren't the case. But other than that, I don't think, let's say, Munoz did much offensively for me anyway. But anyway, that's how the defense was. Oh, listen, honestly, can I just say, it looks so nice seeing Euro Timber 8 points. And it's not from clean sheet points. Listen, I've had enough fun. Let's just talk about the midfield. And on to the midfield where, let's be honest, you could argue I made a mistake going Dango Tara over Harry Wilson. Dango Tara walked out with 5 points. And listen, is it crazy to say I'm kind of disappointed with that? Obviously, I personally think the assist that he got, obviously, for the Damsgaard header, can you guys believe it, was poor defending from Burnley. So you can argue very fortunate getting that assist. But at the same time, when Brentford scored 4 against Burnley, you expect a bit more returns rather than just one assist. And maybe he was a bit more frustrated that Harry Wilson obviously walked out with a goal and an assist. Ended up with 12 points. I think it is 7-point swing. But listen, if you told me before this week Brentford were going to score 4, I'm obviously going to pick Dango Tara every single time. It is what it is. Semenyo 8 points. Very happy with that, because I don't think Semenyo, when I watched that game against Leeds, was brilliant. But he obviously produced that, let's say, key moment in terms of 8-0. He put a brilliant ball in. Semenyo, right place, right time, scoring the goal. So it is very nice. And as I said, I feel like Semenyo points are very nice, because I know a lot of people haven't been able to reach to him because obviously the blanket 31. So the fact that Semenyo is nicely ticking over from now until 31, hopefully, it is very nice. Declan Rice, 5 points. Happy with that to an extent. Like I said, Declan Rice on corners for this game was obviously going to be very important from an FPL point of view, from an Arsenal point of view, because Chelsea can't defend set pieces. But he did obviously come off with injury. Now, the thing is, game week 29, I was actually thinking about making the switch between taking out Declan Rice and bringing in Harry Wilson, who has West Ham at home. The problem is now, both of them are injured out, so I don't really know what I'm thinking in that position for now. Obviously, this week, more than ever, press conferences are going to be massive. So let's see. James Garner, 6 points. And when... I always feel like when we have good weeks, we underestimate the element of luck that's gone our way sometimes. James Garner was obviously on my bench. Haaland didn't play, and I get James Garner points off my bench. I think that's a very fortunate, let's say, outcome for me. I'm obviously going to take it because it's my team. I'm very, very happy with that. But listen, he got the assist for the goal. I was surprised actually Everton won the game. Going to Newcastle away, it still is a tough place to go, even though Newcastle haven't been the best. So I am kind of surprised with that. But at the same time, full credit to Everton. I saw a stat after the game where apparently since David Moyes has taken over Everton, they have the second best away record. That is incredible because that's something that maybe me and other people don't really give Everton and Moyes credit about. So listen, full credit to them. James Garner, Burnley at home next. Come on, man. Just get me a 16 pointer like he did against, what was it, Forest a couple weeks ago? Not even a couple weeks ago, probably 2 months ago now. Just please. That game, honestly, I'm so excited. I might just watch that over, let's say, any other game that day. Bruno Fernandes, 26 points. Obviously, I did not captain Bruno Fernandes. Remember, guys, I captained Erling Haaland. So, when we talk about element of luck, have I gone lucky with this decision? You could argue the answer to that question is also yes. The assist for the Sesko goal, brilliant. But obviously, Sesko deserves a lot of credit because that was a top header. He's obviously a penalty taker. We know Bruno Fernandes' penalty record hasn't been the best this season. But it was obviously very, very nice. Him scoring, him getting an assist. It felt nice. And I just want to talk about a lot of, let's say, Twitter's been, I feel like, a very toxic place in the FPL community over the last, let's say, 2 days in terms of the Bruno Haaland stuff regarding content creators. Do they know that Erling Haaland was injured? My personal opinion, I don't know if anyone cares on this topic, is do I think content creators knew Erling Haaland was injured? I think some of them did. That's just my opinion. Do, let's say, big content creators probably get information regarding team sheets and stuff at times or injuries? The answer to that question is yes. It's only natural. I don't think they're searching for it, but the nature of their work, how big they are, how people, let's say, want to help them, it's always going to be the case. But at the same time, Bruno Fernandes was a brilliant captaincy option. Erling Haaland was a brilliant captaincy option, in my opinion, this week. So the fact that a lot of content creators went Bruno over Haaland, I don't think you guys can say it was like cheating or, let's say, you guys get what I'm trying to say, kind of thing, innit? Like, Bruno Fernandes was still a fine captaincy option this week, even if Erling Haaland was fit. So, listen, the outcome, obviously, in terms of Haaland being injured, it doesn't really matter now. Everyone pretty much had Bruno Fernandes, let's say, vice captain. Some people might have had EKITIKE, fair play to them, but it is what it is, isn't it? Like, what can you do if content creators have, let's say, information? Like, we're not battling with them, if that makes sense. And I say we, even though I'm making content, you guys get what I mean. Like, I'm talking about the big guys. But anyway, Bruno Fernandes, 26 points. Very, very nice. Let's get on to the attack because, guys, can you believe it? Eva Nilsson scored a goal. Oh, my days. Like, when I saw Eva Nilsson was on the bench, first of all, I was shocked a bit because I really thought he was going to start this game, maybe get 70 minutes. And listen, game week 29, my plan was initially to bench him. But obviously now with the injuries and stuff, I don't know. So when he was on the bench, I was like, oh my days, like, this just sums up my season. And I think I spoke about it last week where Eva Nilsson has a shocking record of scoring in the second half. I think he's done it once so far this season. So I was like, okay, he's not going to start. Realistically, we know Eva Nilsson. He's probably going to come on and just blank in it. But you know what? He scored. So he actually deserves a lot of credit. The ball by Tavernier for the goal, by the way, was sensational. Like, obviously, Eva Nilsson's going to get credit for the goal and stuff. But the ball, that made the goal. Tavernier, sensational. And Thiago, 6 points. This comes back to my disappointment bit where Thiago actually took his goal very, very well. But when you watch that game, like, 4 goals. 4 goals by Brentford. And Thiago only has 1. Dango Sara only has 1 assist. Even like Sharda, I think Sharda only ended up getting 1 goal. Like, didn't really feel enough, if that makes sense. But listen, Thiago, 6 points. I'm not going to complain. I'm very, very happy with that. 83 points all out for game week 28. 184k green arrow. I'm not going to complain. But anyway, let's have a look at the transfer plans because that's obviously very, very important for this week. Now, let's have a look at our transfer plans for game week 29. But before I do that, guys, remember, make sure you guys leave a like on this video. First of all, can I just say, game week 29, obviously, with all these like injury doubts, is going to be very, very interesting. Currently, Joe Rodon is flagged for me. Eva Nilsson's flagged. Haaland's flagged. Declan Rice is not flagged, but obviously came off with the injury. It should be very, very interesting. And this is why this week is going to be very, very important to listen to the press conferences to see what these managers say. But let's just say hypothetical. If everyone is fit for my team, this week is not a bad week to play my bench with if you're looking at it. Joachim Anderson against West Ham at home, Munoz against Tottenham away, and even Nielsen against Brentford at home. The problem also is a midweek game. You're probably seeing a bit more rotation, so I'm just not going to play it. But on paper, it actually don't look too bad. But if my thinking was this week, I'm just going to go out Declan Rice to Harry Wilson. And listen, that'll be one free transfer used. I start Harry Wilson obviously over Declan Rice, and that'll just be my team kind of thing. I have Harry Wilson against West Ham at home, and obviously that's a transfer I want anyway for 31 when Harry Wilson has Burnley at home for the double. But there was a part of me that was looking at it the other day, because obviously the new information regarding other injuries might have a part to play in that. But I could also go Declan Rice to Harry Wilson, and I'll show you guys. Declan Rice to Harry Wilson, who's probably the most informed, one of the most informed players. And I can actually upgrade, let's say, Even Nielsen to an EKITIKE. Like, I feel like I'm really missing some sort of, let's say, Liverpool coverage in my team. Having EKITIKE would be nice. I don't know if I would bench Dango Tara, but let's just say Dango Tara for now. And that's how my team will look like. You can argue that's probably the best front three you can get. You got Bruno Fernandes, who's obviously going to play in 31. Wilson, Garner, Dango Tara, Semenyo as my midfield. Defense, relatively happy with that. It actually looks very, very nice on paper. But the problem is, do I want to take a -4? I don't know. And also, I said this with EKITIKE. Of course, 15-pointer this week. Very, very nice. Well done to anyone that's owned him. But there is a part of me that does think the fixtures are just coming in close, let's say, succession for Liverpool, especially around game week 30 with the Champions League. Is EKITIKE going to play all those minutes? The answer to that question is probably no. Then do you think if the upside's high enough that he's still bringing an EKITIKE? And it might be, because obviously you guys saw it this week. He got 15 points. But that was what I was really, really thinking on Saturday night. Whether I go ahead with that, I obviously have to wait and see. But let's just say Harry Wilson's ruled out, Declan Rice is ruled out. What do I do? I think the answer to that question might just be I might just roll it. Because I don't think if, let's say, Declan Rice is ruled out, let's just say Haaland's fit, there's any real need for me to make a transfer regarding like my team. Because realistically, what midfield am I bringing in for Declan Rice this week that's going to, first of all, play in game week 31 and be beneficial for me this week? I don't think there's many that I look at that, let's say, fit that criteria. So either, guys, I'm going to roll this week, or I'm going to wait, or I might take a -4. But you know what, yeah? I don't even want to talk too much on the transfer plan section this week. Because obviously, there's just so many injury deaths that are going to affect our transfer plan. We have to wait until press conferences. Regarding Even Nielsen as well, by the way, I do think he went off with a knock in it. I think he'll be fine. That's just my personal opinion right now. Obviously, like I said, wait until press conferences. But my personal opinion right now is that he will be fine. Let's just wait and see, though. Haaland, I'm not too sure. I'm really not too sure on the Erling Haaland thing. The problem is, if Erling Haaland misses his Nottingham Forest game, the gap between Nottingham Forest and West Ham is massive. Like in terms of 8-9 days. And realistically, you want Haaland for that West Ham game. So even if he's ruled out for Nottingham Forest, I'm not too sure if I'm willing to sell him for or before that West Ham game. And obviously, I know he blanks to 31, but I have so much value tied up on him. I kind of do want to try and see if I can carry him through the blank. But like I said, let me not even just waste your guys' time. I don't know what I'm going to do. We have to wait until press conferences. I don't want to just say drag this video out for longer for no reason. Make sure you guys like the video. Comment your thoughts on my team. Subscribe to the channel. And obviously, let's just see what happens before game week 29. There'll be a video out tomorrow. Of course, there will be. So let's discuss it more tomorrow.